ESPN gave us our first major look ahead to the best names available in 2026 free agency. We are exploring the list here today on Locked On NFL Scouting.
You are Locked On NFL Scouting with the Draft Dudes, your daily podcast for NFL and college football scouting. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's better than this? It's guys being dudes here on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast. We're the Draft Dudes. I'm Joe Marino from Locked On Bills. He's Kyle Crabbs from Locked On Dolphins.
Hello.
And we are your NFL experts here with you daily to talk team building across the league on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast with the Draft Dudes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. We want to issue a big thank you, shout out, and welcome to our everydayers. Those of you who never miss a single episode, we appreciate y'all being here very, very much. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase.
Joe, happy Friday again. See you here on the show.
Thank you.
What's going on? Long time no talk.
Yeah.
We literally just talked.
Yeah, I know.
So marathon day today, and ESPN put together, courtesy of two of my favorites over at the Worldwide Leader, Matt Bowen and Jeremy Fowler. I think Fowler, probably the most underrated insider. Is that a fair
I think that's a good take. Yeah, he gets a lot of unique scoops, and he's always right about it.
Yeah. So Jeremy Fowler with the kind of word on the street with the top 25 early free agents, and then Matt Bowen with kind of the X's and O's breakdown of who these players are. So they put together a list of the top 25 currently scheduled to hit free agency players. And then they have 5 honorable mentions. So it's a total of 30 names. And we are going to explore the list, who's on the list, who needs to be brought back with their respective teams, who should be allowed to test free agency, who's going to get the bag, who might surprise with the amount of money that they get, all the stuff. And one of the things that I love that ESPN did with this list, they also included the age of the players entering into the 2026 season, because that is such a big piece of how much the runway of how likely is this player to reach the full terms of a second contract at top dollar.
Yeah.
So do you want to start with the top 10 and just introduce these names and go from there?
Yes.
It might make sense, right? I mean, we're going to explore who leaves, who stays, but there's 30 names. We have 3 segments on the show. Maybe we just go 10 by 10 and ask those questions.
Nicely done, Kyle Crabbs.
Great. All right. So Trey Hendrickson ranked as the #1 edge. This is non-premium content over at ESPN, right? So we're going to read the list because it's non-premium content. You can find it over there. We'll put the link in the show description so people can go read all the stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Tyler Linderbaum, #2.
Good
Daniel
player.
Jones, #3.
Mm.
George Pickens, #4. Wide receiver, Dallas Cowboys. Offensive tackle, Braden Smith, Indianapolis Colts, #5. New York Jets running back, Breece Hall, #6. Alec Pierce, wide receiver, Indianapolis Colts, #7. Baltimore Ravens defensive tackle, Travis Jones, #8. Baltimore Ravens tight end, Isaiah Likely, #9. Newly acquired Philadelphia Eagles edge rusher, Jalen Phillips, #10.
Some really, really interesting players in this list. And my mind obviously goes directly towards Daniel Jones. Obviously, I think the Colts are going to keep him.
Yes.
Especially after they gave up, the meaningful draft capital for Sauce Gardner. But where does this contract come in? Because we've seen some of the reclamation quarterbacks, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, it wasn't, they didn't get into that 50-55 range.
Yeah.
It's a lot different, right? It was 3 years, $100 million for Baker, and then sort of that for Sam Darnold, but with some serious protections. Does Daniel Jones get that middle-class quarterback deal, or does he sustain this level of play the rest of this year and kind of avoids the little bit of a dip that he's in right now? Where does that come in? I think there's a big range, and I'm fascinated to see how it plays out.
I think the ceiling is probably what he got from the Giants, I would guess. I can't imagine he gets more than 40.
I tend to agree.
Sam Darnold got 3 years, $100 million, and was sensational last year for Minnesota. I think that you take 33 per, you want to put a 7-8% salary cap inflation adjustment on that. I think that's where we should land with Daniel Jones.
How about George Pickens?
This is such an interesting one to me because the Cowboys acquired him and immediately we're like, no, we're not talking contract. And George is like, I don't want to talk contract. Let's just let it play out. Which tells me, I think George betting on himself, very comfortable betting on himself. He's obviously playing lights out. That would scare the hell out of me with the prospect of paying what these wide receiver markets have become. And so what George Pickens was as a very physically talented player for the first 3 years of his career in Pittsburgh. It would scare the bejesus out of me. And the fact that Pittsburgh moved on should be your big red flag, right?
That's the whole thing with George is just, the red flags that exist within the overall profile. You don't really have any questions about what happens when the ball's in the air. You love that piece of it, but I mean, really everything else can be a little bit goofy, including at times his on-field demeanor. You're going to make a potentially a huge commitment to a player like this. You need to know that they're going to be what you need them to be in all areas. Right. And I would have a lot of reservations about that. I don't have any questions about, like I said, when the ball's in the air, but I have a lot of questions about everything else.
So the commentary from Jeremy Fowler. Multiple league executives believe the inconsistency will be a factor to consider in free agency, but Pickens' results with capable quarterback play are deniable. The franchise tag, which would be around $29 million, could be a backup option for Dallas. So seems to indicate if you want to try to capture the lightning in a bottle that Pickens is playing with this year, do not give him the long-term deal.
Right.
Now, what that cap management looks like for Dallas, that's where how they've played some of their other contracts, I think, makes it a little tough, right? Because you have so much rigidness with the Dak contract because of how you've handled your prior two sets of negotiations that you had with Dak Prescott. A lot of deferred guarantees, and they're going to need to do it again.
3 of the top 10 are Colts players. Has this hit you? Daniel Jones, Alec Pierce, and Braden Smith.
Yeah, 3 Colts and 3 Ravens.
Travis Jones, Isaiah Likely, and Tyler Linderbaum. Jeez. Wow. How many of those players go back to their respective teams? How many of those could hit the market?
Okay. I am going to say Daniel Jones is back. I am going to say Braden Smith is probably back from a continuity standpoint, and his salary was like $8 million. Like, he's not a break the bank type of player. Now, does somebody get crazy? What did Macari get in free agency? It's like $11-12 million from Jacksonville.
Well, look at the tackles, Jalen Moore and Dan Moore. If those guys are getting 15 and 20, right? What is Braden Smith getting on the market at offensive tackle? He's a good player.
There's been some durability stuff.
Sure. That didn't stop Will Fries and Ryan Kelly.
I think there's a pretty decent chance that the Colts can retain Braden Smith and Daniel Jones. I think Alec Pierce, with the other weapons that Indy has and Indy's paying and what they want to do with the rest of their roster, and you're adding a mature quarterback contract to the mix, Pierce is getting 20 plus, right?
I would think so. Yeah. 20 to 25 kind of.
And I don't think they can earmark that for him.
Yeah.
You want to do Ravens on the other side of the break?
Ravens on the other side of the break. We'll keep working through this list. Be sure to stick with us. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this sports season, whether you're following the NFL, NBA, or both. there's no better time to jump in on the action. And if you haven't tried it yet, Prize Picks is the simplest way to play. You just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and if you get them right, you win. It takes less than 60 seconds to make your lineup, and you can play anywhere that Prize Picks operates, including California, Texas, and Georgia. I've been using Prize Picks during both football Sundays and NBA tip-offs. It keeps every game exciting, and I love the injury reboot feature. It's going to save your lineup from a loss if one of your players leaves early with an injury. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 on lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 on lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
All right. Baltimore. Tyler Linderbaum, they voluntarily turned down the 5th-year option there. You cannot go the franchise tag route there, right? Because all offensive line salaries go in the same bucket. The ultimate cut your nose off to spite your face decision. You can't do it. I think Linderbaum will probably reset the center market.
Surely.
But that is going to be about equal to what you paid Ronnie Stanley last year on a 3-year, $60 million extension, right? I think you can defer the year 1 lump for Linderbaum to reduce the cap hit, and that can offset being in the same coexisting with the Ronnie Stanley contract, right? Because once you get to the stage of team building where Baltimore's at, it's about juggling big contracts in certain areas, right?
Yeah.
Draft a tackle, let Ronnie play this year, move on after 2026,
right?
And Tyler Linderbaum becomes your big contract in the offensive line.
Yeah. You'd only have
that
one.
Feels like a no-brainer.
Surely. Yeah, and you start worrying about Rosengarten and what you're going to do at guard. But I mean, the thing about the Colts,
about what they're doing guard all season, but they have not paid any. They've had really good players and let all of them walk. It's guards and edges. It's the worst place in the world to get paid. It's Baltimore because
you're not getting paid.
I'm not doing it. Quit asking.
The Colts and the Ravens are projected to have almost $50 million in available cap space each. So they can be choosy.
Lamar's got a big cap charge, but that's also there's going to be some reworking of that contract, I would expect.
Yeah.
So I think Linderbaum has to be back. I think Travis Jones is probably dependent on what the status of Nnamdi Madubuike is. He's got a neck injury that John Harbaugh's been very delicate talking about. And it's kind of had a lot of people leery about the prognosis. If the prognosis is good, I think Travis Jones probably is another guy that, like Alec Pierce, is getting north of $20 million a season. But I don't think Baltimore can pay that if they continue to have Madubuike on the books because he's already getting $20 million a season.
Right.
Again, it's about juggling big contracts. But if the prognosis is not good with Madubuike and that changes the long-term outlook, I think Baltimore can and would be right to make the push to try to retain Travis Jones in that scenario.
I agree.
Likely?
I bet you he comes back on just a prove-it deal. They love him, and injuries obviously kind of set this year back. I think they can get him back on like a 1-year prove-it deal. I don't think he's going to go out there and get any type of big money. I think he needs to go back and show it.
Well, the intel from Fowler suggested they might tag him. I think that'd be a grave misstep to tag Isaiah.
Like
it's
15.8
million. 15.8 million. Even the transition's 13.5. I would let him test the market and I would try to bring him back. But I would not want to bid against myself with a static 1-year cap figure for Isaiah Likely.
All right. Keep moving here. Yeah, let's go.
Alante Taylor, number 11, cornerback, New Orleans Saints. Tampa Bay wide receiver Mike Evans, not going anywhere. Come on now. Denver Broncos defensive end John Franklin Myers. Green Bay Packers linebacker Quay Walker. Kansas City Chiefs cornerback Jalen Watson. Green Bay Packers offensive tackle Rasheed Walker. Los Angeles Chargers edge rusher Khalil Mack. Seattle Seahawks cornerback Reek Woolen. Jacksonville Jaguars running back Travis Etienne Jr. Green Bay Packers wide receiver Romeo Doubs. Dobbs.
Sure.
It's changed a few times.
I got to be honest, like outside of Mike Evans. This feels like a bunch of players that are going to be on different teams next year.
Okay. So New Orleans has struggled with retaining talent because of their cap situation.
Right.
Like, they were starting to get to the point where like maybe there's some light at the end of the tunnel, but just the dead cap charges for Derek Carr alone with the retirement, right? It's a monster number next year for them. Mike Evans feels like a lifer. Have a hard time believing that he's going to move anywhere.
Right.
Denver has paid Bonito and Zach Allen on the defensive line.
And DJ Jones.
And
Cooper. Yeah, they're not paying. They can't do it, right?
They cannot pay Franklin Myers as a 29-year-old going into 2026. I think that's also a role that, like, you could find a skill set to put into that role. It won't be Franklin Myers.
Right.
Like, I think he's very good at what he does, but that's not the deluxe. I'm going to use that word again. Deluxe skill set in your front, right? Quay Walker, maybe. I don't see any reason why Quay Walker can't be back. Like, what is Quay Walker going to get on the market?
I don't know. I mean, you have Edge Cooper and Isaiah McDuffie as other linebackers you like. Do you have to do this?
You don't have to do this, but I think Walker as a 240-pound guy who can plug, he's a little different than McDuffie, and he's certainly different than Cooper, who's a little bit more of like the rangy, long, slippery type.
Right.
I think he's a different skill set, and I don't think you'd pay through the moon, but certainly feels like Green Bay is a draft, develop, and retain program. 26-year-old player in the prime of his career with a unique skill set relative to the other backers. Like, I would try.
What do you think he's going to, I mean, you're going to pay 15, 16 million, you think, for him?
No, these linebackers aren't getting paid. Dude, Jordan Brooks got paid less than $9 million a year in free agency.
You think he comes under 10, Quay Walker?
I mean, do you remember how big of a deal it was? We got two backers that were over 10 last year. We were like, whoa.
I know.
Who was it?
It was like Luvu. Didn't he get like 11?
I'm going to do the thing. Filibuster.
The Chiefs are not paying Jalen Watson. That's the classic player they don't pay.
Correct.
Rasheed Walker, Green Bay's going to meet that?
They've certainly invested a lot in the offensive line. They've tried. I believe they've had conversations with both of those guys. I know Fowler said that about Walker. They opened extension for dialogue for an extension. Rasheed Walker, the expectation is that Walker hits free agency. One NFC executive says Walker is better than Dan Moore.
Yeah. Well, yeah, low bar to clear. But the Packers only have like $10 million in cap space. I know that there's levers and all that stuff, but they're not like brimming with space here.
Green Bay already paid its other tackle, Zach Tom. Yeah, I think Rasheed Walker is going to hit the market. Khalil Mack, they had to rework his deal, right?
Yeah,
to keep him this year. Oh, if I'm the Chargers, like I at some point you're gonna have to transition there, right? I probably would try to.
Reek Woolen has fallen out of favor with Seattle. I don't think they're going to pay him. Travis Etienne, he's having a
different regime.
Yeah, and they're not paying Dobbs. They already kind of made some commitments to other receivers, and
I wouldn't pay Dobbs. I mean, he'll probably go get 15 somewhere. 12 to 15?
Yeah. If that was out there,
got 10 last year.
Exactly the name of my head, De'Ami Brown. If that's out there for a guy like him, Dobbs will get that
because he's had a track record of being a wide receiver too. The linebackers, to circle back, Spillane last year got 3 for 33. Greenlaw got 3 for 31.5. Next highest paid linebacker was Divine Diablo, 2 for 14. The year before was the year that it was. Patrick Queen got 13.6. Azeez Al-Shaair got 11.3. Frankie Luvu got 10.3. Jordan Brooks got 8.75.
All right.
I think Quay Walker's under 10.
You do?
With the salary cap inflation, probably 10.
I'll take the over.
He's under 12.
I'll take over 10.
Okay. Very good.
But maybe not 15.
Another 10 names
that we will explore on the other side of the break. Be sure to stick with us. The NFL season is back, and honestly, there's nothing better than being in the stadium surrounded by fans cheering on your team. But let's be honest, getting tickets can be a hassle. Between queues, login screens, and prices jumping at checkout, it's frustrating. That's why I use Game Time, the app that gives the advantage back to fans. Game Time is fast, it's easy, and it's backed by the Game Time guarantee. You're always going to get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price. Plus, all fees are included, so the price you see is the price you pay. The app makes everything super simple, and I love that you can even see your exact view from your seat before purchasing. It's faster, it's cheaper, and it's less stressful than any other way that you can purchase tickets. So download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDON NFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today.
Low-key, you want to know what the worst part about international games is? As somebody who covers a team?
Yeah, what's that?
Everything's happening right now. So we record at 9. We started a little early, 8:30. But I was doing kid drop-off this morning, and Mike McDaniel's having his press conference. The players are all talking right now. The injury report's going to be out in 5 minutes.
So weird, right?
Right?
Yeah. But imagine being those international fans and that's just normal for you. You're in the middle of the night while you're sleeping. Everything happens.
Right. I hear from some of them. They're like, yeah, I stayed up to watch the game. It was 3 a.m. my time. I'm like, dude, you're a real diehard.
My brother who lives in Dubai, you know what he has to do to watch the Bills games, man?
What time is it over there right now? It's 9:51 Eastern Standard Time right now. What time is it in Dubai?
I think it's 12 hours, man. Dubai from Eastern time zone. What is it?
Time in Dubai is 6:51 p.m. right now.
So what is that? 8 hours? It's 8 hours.
Yeah.
9 hours. 9 hours.
Draft dudes do math. 9 hours.
9 hours. So if the Bills play at 4:25, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's 1 in the morning. Waking up to watch a game.
Yeah, to wake up to watch a game.
Tough, man.
Prime times might not be a bad deal, right?
Yeah, it's 5.
You just get up a little early.
Yeah, he does. That's what he does. Yeah.
It's a good time of your life to be a Bills fan living in Dubai, right? It's all the primetime games. You get primetime games all the time.
Except for think about a 1 p.m. click that starts at 10. That's not great. That's not great,
tough.
Dude.
That's tough. All right. 21 through 30. So it was 21 through 25, 5 honorable mentions. Tight end Kyle Pitts, Atlanta Falcons. Edge Boye Mafe, Seattle Seahawks. Linebacker Devin Lloyd, Jacksonville Jaguars. He's going to get more than Quay Walker will. Safety Quentin Lake, Los Angeles Rams, should be exponentially higher on this list. Cornerback Greg Newsome, Jacksonville Jaguars. Chargers edge Odafe Owe. Colts edge Kwity Paye. Jaguars wide receiver Jacoby Myers. Bears safety Jaquan Brisker. Browns guard Joel Bitonio. No Bills on this list.
No. Last year
on this list.
Man, last year I pulled up these lists as Rasul Douglas and Amari Cooper, man. Can't even get them on here. That's good though. You don't want to have any good players on these lists. Joey Bosa's having a good year, but Joey Bosa. Quentin Lake, that's a baller. I'm a big fan. I agree with you. That's a player that should be higher on this list.
24?
Yeah.
We have him behind Romeo Doubs and Travis Etienne and Jalen Watson.
Quay Walker. Alante Taylor.
Man. Isaiah Likely this year, and I know it's not a 1-year thing, but Isaiah Likely's always been a bigger idea than he has been an actual product. Now he's shown up in massive moments as the off-speed pitch when you try to take away their big things, but this year's not been a good year for him.
Well, Kyle Pitts and Isaiah Likely potentially both hitting the market is interesting as those types of move tight ends that are very different. You'd love to combine them. But
don't let Arthur Smith get his hands on him again.
Well, no. Didn't they extend Jonnu though? They have their tight ends. They should,
matter. Right? They have all the tight ends.
Can one of them play quarterback?
Boye Mafia, I feel like should be maybe a little higher as well.
Yeah,
I think some of the names in the 20 should be potentially 10 spots higher on this list.
Mafe is a really strong young player. I don't think he has one sack. He just got his first sack of the year last week. But I really like him as a piece of like that overall equation with their sim pressures and the athleticism and the versatility. Like that's the thing about Seattle's front in general. It's the sum of all of it.
Yes.
Like Leonard Williams is absolutely a dude, but it's how they all work together with that scheme that makes it really special. So I'd be nervous about like saying, okay, we're going to make you a $20 million a year pass rusher for us as like our signature lead guy, like.
Yeah, I don't think he is a lead guy, but of the other rushers on the list, Khalil Mack's should be a year-by-year basis player at this stage, right? The 35-year-old. What's your comfort rate in paying Jalen Phillips with a medical retirement in college and an ACL and an Achilles the last 3 years?
You can't do it. Can't do it.
Right? I think he should be a year-by-year basis player as well, and he's going to be the same age going into 2026 as Boye Mafe, who's missed like 3 games in 4 years.
Yeah, different situation for sure.
So if somebody wants to, Jalen Phillips' ceiling's higher as a player, but with the risk that's associated of the edge rushers on the list, I might be most keen to give the multi-year contract to Boye Mafe.
Yeah, these edge rushers are interesting. The whole thing, the whole combination of them.
Or, Odafe Owe got out of Baltimore, and they've certainly weaponized him with the Chargers. If I'm the Chargers, I might let Mac go and bring back
kind of build it around him and Tui Pelotu and fill in the blanks. Yeah, I think that's the right move.
Another Colts player here with Kwity Paye. So they have 4 in the top 30.
They got cap space, though.
How much would you pay Quentin Lake?
15 per.
Yeah, people are going to think that's aggressive, but I am right there.
No, what's Kyler Gordon? What's he getting? Like, is he getting 13?
Isn't that 11?
It was like him and Marcus Jones just got paid too, right? As like a slot player. He got 11.6. I think Kyler Gordon got 13, right?
Kyler Gordon got 3 for 40. From a cash flow perspective, that's what I was thinking of. He got 11.2 this year in cash, and then it's 10.8, 10.8, 10.8 the next 3 years for Kyler Gordon.
I think Quentin Lake comes in about 15.
Will the Rams pay it? That's the interesting thing about the Rams. You and I talked about this off the air, but like their cash budget has been low.
Well, they have $88 million in projected 2026 cap space. I'd probably give a little of that to Quentin Lake.
They gotta start feeding this new collection of drafted talent, right? They got to choose who they want to prioritize and maintain out of that.
Yeah, good problems to have, right?
Team rankings, cash tracker. I just wanted to drive this point home.
Continue to not pay linebackers.
Where do you think the Rams rank in cash spent this year in the league?
The Rams?
Yes.
I'm guessing pretty low. I'm sure the bottom 8, something like that.
31st.
Okay.
The only team that's spending less cash in the NFL this year than the Rams is the Saints because they've paid all their cap 8 years ago to a bunch of guys to go 7-10. Where do you think the Rams ranked in cash last year?
Guessing pretty low.
31st. They've been 31st the last 2 years in cash spent. Where do you think the Rams ranked in cash in 2023?
Guessing pretty low.
32nd, dead last in the league. They go 10-7. 10-7, and they're now 7-2, maybe the favorites in the NFC, and they've been bottom 2 in the league in cash spent each of the last 3 years.
I know the Eagles are pretty low this year, right, in cash spending.
The Eagles are 20th in cash spent this year. Yes, that's right.
I think Seattle's pretty low.
Seattle is 29th.
Yeah.
rough day to be who's the rough day to be Cleveland Browns? They're 8th. And that's low for them. They're usually top.
Cardinals are high as well, if I'm not mistaken, is a not good team.
Arizona's actually 28 this year.
Oh.
Maybe it was last year. Arizona was 12th last year, went 8-9. The Browns were first, went 3-14 with $350 million payroll.
There's not a real correlation between cash spending and wins and losses.
That's a conversation for another day, but there were more teams in the top 10 with losing records than winning records last year in cash spend. So,
not great.
Kyle Crabbs, Joe Marino, that's going to do it for us this week. We are successfully in the books. 5 show. We got them all done. Appreciate you guys checking out Locked On NFL Scouting. Make it a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you all again on Monday.